Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into the world of Jefferson nickels, specifically the ones that can make collectors thousands of dollars. These aren't your everyday 5-cent coins, we're talking about rare mint errors, limited editions, and historically significant nickels that are highly sought after. Whether you found a nickel in your change or you're a dedicated collector, by the end of this video, you'll know which Jefferson nickels are the most valuable and why. So grab your coin folder and let's explore the world of rare 5-cent treasures in the United States. Let's get started. First up, the Jefferson nickel series begins in 1938, when it replaced the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and the historic Monticello building on the reverse. By 1980, the U.S. Mint had already produced Jefferson nickels for more than 4 decades, but what makes this year significant is the introduction of the P Mint mark on the obverse for Philadelphia coins, a practice that began in 1980. Before this year, Philadelphia coins carried no mint mark at all. As a result, the 1980 Jefferson nickel becomes part of an important transitional moment in U.S. coinage history. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of 1980 P nickels, which means that most coins found today in old, worn, circulated condition remain extremely common in the marketplace. However, collectors still seek these coins when they are preserved in higher grades such as uncirculated, MS-60 and above. Even though the regular nickel is not considered rare, specialized collectors focus on mint errors, die cracks, die chips, full steps, details on Monticello, and overall strike quality, all factors that can push the value far higher than a typical example. In average circulated condition, a 1980 P Jefferson nickel usually carries only face value, meaning it's worth 5 cents in most cases. However, collectors pay attention to the condition, luster, and strike sharpness, and this is where prices can increase. A clean, shiny, sharply struck example can be worth more to collectors, especially if it displays the desirable full steps, FS, designation, referring to the clearly visible steps on the Monticello building. These FS coins can command significantly higher premium prices compared to standard nickels. Another key factor affecting value is the presence of mint errors. The 1980 P nickel is known for several collectible error types, such as off-center strikes, die rotations, broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and double die varieties. These are the coins that may be worth much more than face value. Certain dramatic errors, like a large off-center strike or a high-grade double die obverse, could fetch strong prices from error collectors, especially if the flaw is visually appealing and clearly noticeable without magnification. Historical significance also plays a role in interest toward the 1980 P nickel. At the time, the U.S. Mint was transitioning in design and minting technology, improving strike precision and die preparation. Coins minted in 1980 reflect the early years of modern minting improvements, making them attractive to collectors who enjoy building date and mint mark sets across multiple decades. The introduction of the P Mint mark in particular gives this coin a place in numismatic timelines, marking the start of a new era of Philadelphia coin identification. For collectors looking to evaluate their own 1980 P nickel, it's important to closely inspect the coin under good lighting. Look at the obverse portrait of Jefferson for sharp details, check for scratches or damage, and then examine the reverse Monticello steps for clarity. A coin found in old condition, scratched, dull, or heavily circulated, will not bring premium prices, but a well-preserved example can easily interest coin dealers and collectors. For beginners, comparing your coin to professional grading images is a great way to estimate its value. The market for Jefferson nickels also includes collectors who complete full date runs or mint mark sets, meaning that every year and every mint is included. A nice example of a 1980 P nickel can fit perfectly into such a set, especially if found in better than average condition. Coin enthusiasts sometimes upgrade their collections over time, meaning that a slightly above average coin can still find buyers. This constant cycle of buying and upgrading is what helps keep older nickels relevant even if they aren't considered highly rare. If you have a 1980 Jefferson nickel and wonder whether it may be worth more than face value, consider checking local coin shops, online marketplaces, or grading services. Even though many coins from 1980 aren't extremely valuable, there are always standout examples. Pristine condition coins, full-step strikes, or dramatic mint errors. These specific coins can bring a stronger price depending on collector interest and condition. Always remember that coin value is influenced by rarity, demand, and preservation. Before we end this video, if you enjoy learning about rare United States coins, hidden treasures in pocket change, and coin values that could be worth big money, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. Every week we explore valuable nickels, dimes, quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins that people find in everyday circulation. Your support helps the channel grow and allows us to bring you more exciting numismatic content. So subscribe now, and who knows, you might discover that the next coin in your pocket is a rare gem waiting to be found. Next up. The Jefferson nickel series was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Its creation was part of a broader initiative by the U.S. Mint to celebrate American leaders. The coin features Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse, and the famous Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, on the reverse. By 1983, the Jefferson nickel had already undergone several minor design adjustments, but it remained one of the most widely circulated coins in America. What makes the 1983 P nickel interesting is that it represents a period of consistent design and minting, making it a perfect candidate for collectors seeking pristine, uncirculated examples. Let's take a closer look at the design elements. On the obverse, Thomas Jefferson faces left, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," along with the minting year 1983. The P mint mark, located to the right of Monticello's image on the reverse in later nickel series, is sometimes subtle but essential for collectors. Monticello itself is depicted in precise architectural detail, highlighting the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint during the early 1980s. Collectors value coins that show every ridge, contour, and texture of Jefferson's portrait and Monticello without wear, which is why uncirculated examples are highly sought after. Philadelphia, the birthplace of the United States Mint, resumed mint mark usage on nickels only in 1980 after decades of omission. So, the 1983 P Jefferson nickel is part of a relatively modern phase where mint marks became an essential aspect of identification for collectors. While this coin wasn't produced in limited quantities compared to older rarities, the mint mark plays a key role in distinguishing it from nickels minted in Denver or San Francisco, especially when assessing condition and potential market value. Even subtle differences like die variations or mint errors can make these coins more valuable. Most 1983 Jefferson nickels were minted for circulation, meaning the majority show signs of wear. That's why an uncirculated coin from this year is particularly exciting. Uncirculated coins retain their original luster and sharp details, free from scratches, dings, or discoloration. Coin grading organizations like the PCGS and NGC assign numeric grades to coins, and an uncirculated 1983 P nickel typically falls in the MS60 to MS70 range, with MS70 being perfect condition. High-grade examples are rarer, even for coins minted in the millions, which can drive significant collector interest. Now let's talk numbers. A typical 1983 P Jefferson nickel in circulated condition might be worth only face value or 5 cents to casual collectors. But when you find one in uncirculated condition, the value jumps significantly. Depending on the exact grade, an MS60, MS63 coin can fetch $1 to $3, while higher grade coins, MS65 and above, can reach $5 to $10 or more in the current market. Certain collectors or dealers may even pay a premium for coins with exceptional eye appeal or perfect strike, making it a surprisingly rewarding find for anyone inspecting their coin jars. If you're hunting for a 1983 P Jefferson nickel, there are a few tips to keep in mind. First, always handle coins by the edges to avoid fingerprints, which can diminish value. Second, examine coins under proper lighting or a magnifying glass to identify mint marks and check for blemishes. Third, consider the overall eye appeal, as coins with luster, sharp detail, and no toning are far more desirable. Finally, avoid paying unnecessary premiums for coins that look uncirculated but fail to meet proper grading standards. knowledge and patience are your best allies. The 1983 P nickel isn't just a collector's item, it's a piece of history. Minted during the early 1980s, it reflects the U.S. economy's era post-recession and pre-modern coin collecting boom. Numismatists often look at such coins to understand mint production trends, material composition, and public circulation habits. Unlike rare wartime nickels, this coin's significance is tied more to condition and preservation, illustrating the broader story of everyday American currency becoming collectible over time. If you're enjoying this deep dive into Jefferson nickels and want to explore more valuable coins from different eras, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss our videos on coins that might be sitting unnoticed in your pocket change drawers or old collections. We cover coin values, history, grading tips, and even rare minting errors that can skyrocket prices overnight. Engaging with our community will help you learn how to spot coins worth big money and develop your own treasure hunting expertise. To wrap up, the 1983 P Jefferson nickel in uncirculated condition may not be $1 million coin, but it's a beautiful example of collectible U.S. coinage with historical significance and tangible market value. Whether you're just starting your numismatic journey or adding to a seasoned collection, this coin represents both history and opportunity. Don't forget to examine your nickels carefully, because one uncirculated gem could be hiding among thousands of ordinary coins next up. The Jefferson nickel has been an iconic piece of American currency since it was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by sculptor Felix Schlag, it features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse and Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, on the reverse. The design was chosen through a national competition, and it has largely remained unchanged except for minor updates over the years. By 1984, the Jefferson nickel was well established, and millions were minted for everyday circulation. However, the minting process, condition, and historical context can make specific coins like the 1984 P more appealing to collectors. The 1984 P Jefferson nickel is made of the standard composition used since 1946, 75% copper and 25% nickel. It has a weight of 5 grams, a diameter of 21.21 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.95 millimeters. The P Mint mark, which denotes the Philadelphia Mint, is located on the obverse side to the right of Monticello. Collectors pay close attention to these mint marks, as they can significantly influence a coin's value. Even small details like the luster, strike quality, and wear patterns can affect its desirability in the market. In 1984, the Philadelphia Mint produced 384 million Jefferson nickels, making this coin not exceptionally rare in general circulation. However, the rarity factor comes into play when considering condition, uncommon errors, or coins that are in fine to uncirculated condition decades later. Many nickels from the 1980s have been heavily circulated, so finding one in fine condition with minimal wear can be a gem for collectors. Coins with higher grades such as very fine VF, extremely fine XF, or uncirculated MS, are particularly sought after by enthusiasts and investors alike. So, what is the value of a 1984 P Jefferson nickel in fine condition today? In general, coins graded as fine can range from 50 cents to a few dollars, depending on the dealer, buyer, and market conditions. While this may seem modest, certain factors like exceptional eye appeal, limited circulation, or inclusion in a special set can push the value higher. The market for nickels has been surprisingly strong in recent years, with collectors looking for coins to complete date and mint mark sets, as well as historical or thematic collections. Remember, a fine coin is a coin that shows moderate wear on the highest points but still retains clear and readable details. Collectors are not only interested in the intrinsic value of a coin but also its historical and aesthetic significance. The 1984 P Jefferson nickel is particularly valuable for those who collect coins from the 1980s or assemble a complete Philadelphia Mint series. Additionally, some collectors hunt for subtle variations such as double die errors, repunched mint marks, or striking anomalies, which can drastically increase a coin's worth. Even without these special features, A well-preserved nickel from this era represents a tangible piece of American history, a connection to the past when coins were primarily used in everyday transactions. Grading a nickel accurately is essential for understanding its value. A fine-condition 1984p nickel will have moderate wear, especially on Jefferson's hair, cheek and Monticello details, but most features remain visible. There should be no major scratches, corrosion or discoloration, though minor surface marks are acceptable. Collectors also consider luster, which is the original reflective sheen of the coin, and strike quality, which indicates how clearly the coin's details were impressed during minting. Investing in even a modest grading can help protect the coin's value and provide assurance to potential buyers. If you are buying or selling a 1984p Jefferson nickel, knowledge is your best asset. Research current market trends and recent auction sales to understand what similar coins are fetching. Avoid coins that show signs of cleaning or artificial polishing, as these can significantly reduce the value. For sellers, providing high-quality images and accurate grading descriptions increases trust and potential sale price. For buyers, buying from reputable dealers or certified coin shops ensures authenticity and protects your investment. Remember, coins like these are more about collecting history than just monetary gain, making them a rewarding hobby for enthusiasts of all ages. The 1980s were a unique era in American coinage. Economic factors, inflation, and increased demand for coins for vending machines and commerce influenced minting volumes. The 1984p Jefferson nickel captures this period perfectly. It reflects the standard design tradition while also being part of an era when coin collecting saw renewed interest due to hobbyist clubs and coin shows. Owning a nickel from this decade isn't just owning currency. It's holding a symbol of American culture and history from a transitional period in modern times. In conclusion, the 1984p Jefferson nickel in fine condition is more than just a 5-cent coin. It's a collectible with historical significance, modest but real market value, and potential appeal to both beginner and experienced coin collectors. Whether you are looking to complete a mint set, invest in coins, or simply appreciate the craftsmanship of American currency, this nickel is a great example of a classic Jefferson design standing the test of time. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more rare coin insights, and hit the notification bell so you never miss updates on coins that could be worth big money in today's market. Next up, the Jefferson nickel, first introduced in 1938, replaced the Buffalo nickel and was designed by famed sculptor Felix Schlag. By 1985, these nickels were well into their modern production era, featuring the classic profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, on the reverse. The P Mint mark on this coin signifies it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which began using the P mark for nickels starting in 1980, a major change in the coinage system after decades of omitting a Philadelphia Mint mark. The 1985p Jefferson nickel is made of a durable copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel. On the obverse, Jefferson's profile faces left, surrounded by the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 1985. The reverse showcases Monticello, Jefferson's iconic architectural masterpiece, along with the inscriptions "E Pluribus Unum," United States of America, and 5 cents. Subtle details like Jefferson's hair, the steps of Monticello, and the fine lines on the coin's edge are critical for determining its condition and value. In 1985, the Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 375 million Jefferson nickels, making it a relatively common year. However, even among common years, certain factors, like unusual die errors, striking anomalies, or coins preserved in extremely fine or uncirculated condition, can dramatically increase a coin's market value. Coins that appear very old due to heavy circulation are typically valued at face value, but pristine specimens or those with historical errors can attract significant collector interest. So, what is a 1985p Jefferson nickel worth today? For circulated coins in typical condition, the market value is usually 5 cents, as it's considered a standard coin. However, coins in extremely fine XF, uncirculated MS, or proof condition can fetch anywhere from $1 to $15 or more, depending on the coin's eye appeal and collector demand. Coins with errors, like double dies, off-center strikes or missing mint marks, can be worth significantly more, sometimes hundreds of dollars. If you are looking to collect Jefferson nickels or sell a 1985p coin, pay close attention to the coin's condition and grading. Use a magnifying glass to check for scratches, wear, or discoloration. Look for coins with sharp details, especially in Jefferson's profile and Monticello's architecture. Coins that have remained in protective rolls or cases since minting are often the most valuable. Understanding the difference between circulated and uncirculated coins is key for any collector or seller aiming to get top dollar. Though it may seem like an ordinary 5-cent coin, the Jefferson nickel series is a cornerstone of American numismatics. Each coin reflects U.S. history, culture, and presidential heritage. The 1985p coin is a representation of mid-1980s American minting technology and the subtle transition to modern mint marks. Collectors often appreciate it as part of a complete Jefferson nickel set or a mint state Philadelphia collection. Here's a fun fact. Monticello, depicted on the reverse, was not only Jefferson's home but also a symbol of classical architecture in America. The Jefferson nickel is one of the few U.S. coins to maintain the same design for decades, and 1985 marked the 47th year of Jefferson nickels in circulation. Additionally, coins minted in Philadelphia during the 1980s often serve as everyday coins that surprisingly appear in old coin collections, making the 1985 PA coin many find unexpectedly collectible. If you're thinking of selling your 1985p Jefferson nickel, consider getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. A certified coin can dramatically increase your selling price and attract serious buyers. Online marketplaces, coin shows, and local coin shops are all viable options for selling or trading coins. For buyers, pay attention to the coin's grade, provenance, and any special features before making a purchase, as these factors determine both value and authenticity. In conclusion, the 1985p Jefferson nickel may seem like an ordinary 5-cent coin, but with the right eye, it can reveal fascinating history, collectible potential, and even surprising market value. Whether you're a beginner coin collector or an experienced numismatist, this nickel deserves a spot in your collection. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos on rare coins, market values, and hidden treasures in your pocket change. Who knows? That old nickel in your drawer might just be a small coin with a big story. Thanks for watching.